I have opened up an image that I plan to use for my assignment that requires a headshot of 65 by 65 pixels. Let's take a look around. First of all, if you would look down near the bottom left, you'll see the percentage is 25%. I find it easier to look at it at 100% so that you can get an actual idea of the real size. There are a variety of ways you can do that. You can actually type 100 in down below if you'd like, or go up to View and choose Print Size. I want just my headshot, so I'm going to use the scroll bars to get the head so that it's back in where I want it to be. Okay, no laughing at the picture. I'd like you to notice that when I opened it, it showed one layer in Photoshop. This is the background, and that's all we'll say about that at the moment. I'm going to use the marquee tool, which is right here, the rectangular marquee tool. There are different styles of the marquee tool. Typically it's at normal when you first open up Photoshop, but I've chosen a fixed size. I've changed the size to 65 by 65 pixels to fulfill the requirements of the assignment. Now when I click inside my image, it makes a marquee of exactly the fixed width and height. Obviously that picture is too large to fit in the box, so I need to resize the image now to accommodate the size of the box. This is really a trial and error thing. I'm going to go to Image, I'm going to change image size, and you can see the original size of the picture. I'm just going to start with, say, 800. Notice that the height also changed because I have the constrained proportions checked, and that would be a default setting for Photoshop. I click OK. It's moved it around a little bit, so I'll just slide back so I can see the face again. And I just click back in there one more time. And it does allow me to click and move the box around, but I'm still not quite satisfied. It doesn't have my whole face. So I'm going to put it kind of near the bottom where I'd like it to be. And now I need to sort of estimate. If I consider the height of this being 100%, I need to decide how much that's left over that I want included. About what percentage of it is it? It looks like it's less than half, maybe a teeny bit more than a quarter. So a quarter would be, I started at 800, so a quarter would be 200 of that. So if I subtracted 200 pixels, that would be getting close, but I think I need to go just a little bit further. So I'm going to go back up to Image, go to Image Size, and I'm going to say, how about 575, which is a little bit more than a quarter of it. There I am. I'll click another box, and that looks pretty good. I might be able to go a little bit smaller, but for the sake of this exercise, I'm going to be satisfied with what I have there. I don't want everything outside of the picture, so I'm going to crop out the extraneous portion. Going back to Image, I can choose Crop. And now I have just the image. I'm going to deselect it so that I can see it a little bit better without the marching ants flying around it. At this time, it's ready for me to save, and what I'll do is I will save it for web and devices. You'll get used to doing this if you do much work with Photoshop and web pages. So here I am in the web and devices window. You want to verify that it says JPEG. Typically Photoshop defaults to GIF, which is actually GIF, although most pronounce it GIF, including me often. You can choose high or medium. If you notice, the medium doesn't change it very much, but with a picture this small, you might as well leave it at high because it's going to be a small size anyway. You can't see it, but down on the bottom of this window below what you can see, it tells me that the size of it is less than 3K, so I'm going to leave it where it is. Once you're satisfied, you can press the Save button, which is below where you can see, or just press Enter at this point, which is what I'll do. And then I can choose to save it wherever I would like to. I'll go ahead and save it somewhere. How about my pictures folder? And I'm going to call this, starting with my last name first, and you should always, any files that you submit should always start with your last name first, and then a little description about what the file is supposed to be about. So I'll just type in pic. I'll click on the Save button, and then I'm ready to pass it in.